From Lamar Jackson helping a rapper escape from prison, Tom Brady almost dying, and players using deadly weapons for training, these are 10 things NFL players didn't want their fans to know.
Reclaims his stage. He's done it again.
How did a league MVP free a guy from jail? Lamar grew up in Florida, and he just so happened to live in the same city as a celebrity rapper, Kodak Black. These two had always been close, and as they got older, their support for each other never stopped. Kodak would pull up to Lamar's games, rep Lamar's jersey, and surprise Lamar with diamond jewelry. Lamar would support him back by hyping up unreleased music of Kodak's for his fans, showing up to Kodak's music release events, and they even turned up in a music video together. Their bond was too tight until news broke that Kodak was heading to jail.
Warrant has been issued for South Florida rapper Kodak Black. Officials say Bill Capri, better known as Kodak Black, violated the conditions of his pretrial release.
Lamar heard about this and showed up to his court case to find out what was going to happen, where Kodak was sentenced to 3 years in jail, and Lamar was devastated. So he jumped on Twitter to hit up the President of the United States, Donald Trump, saying, then just a few days later, when Trump was issuing pardons, he got Kodak's charges dropped, all because he saw Lamar's tweet, and he was officially free and let out of jail. Now that is gangster. This dude is also gangster on the field, but can you imagine what New York Giants fans would feel like if he never played at all because he was this close to going pro in another sport? Odell Beckham might be known as a football legend, but what if I told you he didn't even want to play football? Football is not even the sport he loves most, because while growing up, he was obsessed with soccer, and Odell got so good that he eventually got an opportunity to travel all the way to Europe to become a pro until he decided not to go.
Soccer was my first sport when I was playing at 3 years old. And they wanted me to join the national team when I was 13, 14, and baseball. I didn't get to make it there, you know what I mean? It was a decision you had to make when you're young, and you kind of have to go to Europe, and I didn't want to leave my family, so I stuck to the more American sports, but soccer definitely helped me out throughout my entire career.
That decision left him no choice but to make football work. Failure wasn't an option. In the end, he not only made it to the NFL, but became an icon. You can tell what sport he loves more though, because even at his NFL games, he's always playing soccer with a football. He trains soccer with star players. And whenever Odell isn't using his quick feet to shake D-backs on the field, he's kicking it with Ronaldo. As you probably noticed, Ronaldo's trademark celebration is something Odell does after every touchdown.
Reclaims his stage. He's done it again.
This beast here, he only became a football legend because he trains with a deadly weapon. Alright, now at least training with knives has made Aaron Donald a better player, but I don't recommend it for anyone else. Playing with knives is crazy, but at least he didn't almost die playing golf like Tom Brady.
So Tom and I played together for 3 days in the Pro-Am out there on the 6th hole where he drove the ball to the right, and we get down there and he's standing over the cliff. He's like, I think I see it. And he takes his club down there and he climbs over the cliff.
See, Brady's always been a fiend for the green golf course. He's been known to hit some ridiculous shots, so he wanted to put his skills to the test at one of the most prestigious golf courses in the world, Pebble Beach. Now, as crazy as this place is, it's also where Brady nearly died. Man, we really almost lost the GOAT. Almost losing Tom Brady was scary, but what haunted one of the league's best pass catchers is straight out of a horror movie. George Kittle recently bought what he thought was his dream home that he completely customized because he thought he'd be living here happily for a while. Until one night, things turned into a nightmare. One of George's teammates, Sam Darnold, experienced something weird going on when he came over. There was a weird feeling in the house. Apparently, things were lurking in the shadows, and eventually, something attacked.
Have a dream, and then you wake up and you feel like you can't move. Maybe 4 or 5 seconds. Woke up, it was like 3 a.m. You know, the night after that, the same thing happened. I just couldn't, I had to keep focusing on this thing, and there was something else.
Just like that, now I'm sleeping with the lights on. But while Kittle was battling demons in real life, Kyler Murray was just battling them on Xbox.
262. Hey, Booga's
Kyler
down.
has always been obsessed with video games, and he recently made his habit crazier by having an entire gaming setup built so he could stream every week on Twitch. And once he got partnered, even pro gaming teams took notice of his skills and drafted him. He didn't realize how badly his Call of Duty addiction was ruining his football career. The fans actually noticed that whenever he was up late gaming on weekends, he played worse football. Kyler would tweet about COD while wearing a COD jacket. And this man's gaming became such a topic that during an NFL game, a player intercepted Kyler's pass and trolled him by doing a video game celebration.
Yes, video games come to life.
At this point, Kyler's gaming addiction was well known and upset the Cardinals front office, so they forced some strict rules on him by having lawyers whip up a special contract that offered Kyler $230 million to focus on football over gaming, all under one condition: the COD clause. It stated that Kyler shall complete at least 4 hours of film study each week and cannot be engaged in any other activity that may distract his attention, including playing video games. If he disobeys, he's owed no more money because his contract will be terminated. But really, for that much money, I'd give up on gaming too. Kyler almost lost millions to gaming, but this next guy may have lost everything over a jersey number. Aaron Rodgers was never meant to part ways with his iconic number 12, the number that helped shape his NFL legacy. But when news hit that he'd been traded to the Jets, Rodgers discovered his beloved number was off limits, a sacred symbol in the team's history, forever tied to the legendary Joe Namath. Things got suspicious though when even Joe himself came out and insisted that Rodgers wear the number. Rodgers let pride get the best of him though, and for the first time in his career switched his number to 8. The whole organization knew this was wild, so his new teammate Sauce Gardner tried getting Rodgers hyped up for the season by customizing him a chain of the new number. This was the first time Rodgers looked cool, and not long after, he showed his new jersey number to the world when it was time for his heavily anticipated debut game. With that number on, though, it became the saddest debut of a star player ever. He didn't complete a single pass. 4 plays into the game, he went down with an injury all athletes fear: a torn Achilles. It's definitely no coincidence that the first game Rodgers wore number 8, his career got ruined. Okay, so Rodgers cursed himself by changing one number. Meanwhile, this playa had 50 women's numbers in his phone, and none of them were Taylor Swift. But before we get to the world's most famous boyfriend, we want to give a huge shout out to Just Be a Good Person for joining the Huddle Up channel. If you want to be entered into our video shout out giveaway, simply subscribe, then comment "I subbed," and you'll be entered to win in our next video. Before all this Taylor Swift talk that's been taking over the news, social media, games, even my fantasy football app, Kelce wasn't just settling for one girl. When he began making a name for himself earlier in his career, a TV company saw his pretty boy face, wild personality, and wanted to give him the opportunity of a lifetime to get even more famous. So they created a show, Catching Kelce. The show was simple. One girl from every state in the country came to live in a huge house, compete in challenges, and fight to win Kelce's heart. As wild as that was, though, in the end, Kelce could only choose one, and that was a girl named Maya. Now, obviously, this didn't last long as the two broke up shortly after, but it had a lot of people wondering what Kelce actually prefers. And yeah, we all know Kelce don't discriminate because nowadays he's dating the most famous woman on earth. After 50 girlfriends and 1 pop star, it's only right that we check in on the NFL's real-life Fast and Furious. I knew Tyreek's need for speed was getting serious when he admitted, speeding in McLarens and jumping over them isn't the only crazy way he's involved in cars. Tyreek not only has a driveway full of them, he's always tearing up his yard with 4-wheelers. And when he recently moved to Miami, where one of the biggest pro racing events takes place, he went to a race where he learned about pit stops and got to hop in a car that goes 200 miles per hour.
That experience right there, that is why I see they don't let a lot of people do that, because that is so much fun, bro. And I think they should allow people to do that.
The funniest part about all of it, though, is that when Tyreek said that he could run faster than a car. Yeah, Tyreek Hill's out of his damn mind. Yeah, okay, so the cheetah's flexing his speed, but it's not speed that gets you into the Hall of Fame, it's dancing? You might picture linebackers lifting weights or running drills, but what if I told you that some of them pirouettes? Yes, ballet. NFL stars like Herschel Walker and Lynn Swann have openly credited ballet training
Caught it! What a catch by Lynn Swann. By Swann. Behind Lynn Swann is open. Got it. Steeler touchdown.
for enhancing their agility, footwork, balance, and body control. Walker once said, "Ballet made me more explosive." And he wasn't kidding. He became one of the most versatile athletes in NFL history.
Walker up the middle. 10, 5, touchdown!
Even today, strength coaches incorporate dance-based mobility training to improve ankle stability and reduce injury risk, something scientifically backed by the American Journal of Sports Medicine. So next time someone laughs at ballet, just remind them it creates absolute beasts on the field. The captain of America's team is a beast, but off the field, this guy did something unprecedented. Did you know that he once disappeared for 11 hours and came back with something no one saw coming? Because Dak's teammate CeeDee Lamb recently showed off a crazy back tattoo that was done by a well-known tattoo artist, Andres Ortega. It impressed Dak so much that he hit him up and they planned something special to permanently honor the things that shaped him into the person he is today. Dak's never been shy about his tattoos, but this time was different though. He decided to spend 11 hours straight getting his leg covered with his most memorable tats that each have a story behind them. Because Dak's childhood was tough, growing up in a trailer park named Pine Creek Estates, he got their sign in ink. Dak's idol growing up was just like some of ours, Kobe Bryant, and his logo is what Dak got tatted. And most important is the entire sleeve though. Wasn't any of those. He got a moose representing the nickname of his brother, who sadly committed suicide due to depression. And he also got a Pegasus flying over Dallas to represent his mom, looking down on him, who unfortunately died with cancer. While Dak is spending his time getting tattoos, this next GOAT is always studying. He literally knows every team's plays. Check it out.